Young Adult Podcast.
Welcome to podcast 183. And we've had a bit of a hiatus of the holidays, vacation.
Right.
Fantastic, praise the Lord.
That's right.
But we are up to speed on our picks.
We're back.
The Lions season is officially over. We have
very sad.
Winner of the picks, and might I say a tie.
Yeah, tie.
And but let's start with last place. Preston, 10 and 10.
10 and 10.
Yep, we'll bring him in here in a second to get his reflections.
Right there, halfway.
Yep. Then I was third or second. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I think I'm third, which was 11 and 9.
11 and 9, so one step up.
It feels good to really get that victory over Preston.
Yeah.
That feels good. Then we got a tie between you and your Faja.
That's right.
12 and 8.
12 and 8, just one more ahead of you.
Uh-huh.
I think we were tied going into the last 3 weeks, and we had a pretty decent lead. And I was like, I think one of us could really pull away. And then both of us got the last 3 games wrong.
Yep.
So it was just taking 3 L's.
Yeah, and I got a 1 or 2 right, so I caught up a little bit.
You caught up a little bit.
And so, yeah, there we go. Should we call Preston?
Let's call Preston in.
All right, Preston, we need your reflections on the game with the Lions. He's coming in right now.
He's walking in the door.
Look at this guy.
A little commentary for you guys who are just listening.
Just lean in and give us your... Yeah.
Well, last place finish. Pretty disappointed. For my rankings, 10-10 though, 500. So I'd keep my job if I was an NFL head coach.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And what are your thoughts on the Lions this year?
Well, I predicted and projected like a 10-win season, so I was thinking 10 and 7. I didn't think the Bears were going to be as good as they were. I don't think the Packers were going to be as good as they were. And I thought 10 and 7 would be good enough for the wild card, and it was not. And the Lions were bad this year, so it was unfortunate.
They should be 10 and 7. Mm-hmm. They should have easily beat the Vikings.
They should actually. I think they should be 11 and 6.
Yeah, should have beat the Steelers too.
They should have beat the Steelers, and they should have beat the Vikings.
Yeah. All right. Now, what we're going to do, since the Lions season is done, we're going to transition.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
We're going to continue this game called Who Will Win, but we're going to go towards the Pistons.
That's right. We're going to go to the Pistons.
Let's transition right now. Who will win?
It's time for the picks.
All right. So for this game, got Preston in the room still. He's off camera just a smidge.
Just squat down like this.
Come on in. The water's warm. It's a good visual. So we're gonna look at the next week Pistons schedule, Tuesday to Tuesday.
That's right.
We're gonna pick the winners of the games during that, and we'll keep track and we'll keep score.
That's right.
And we'll do this. We'll try. Well, I'd like to do it for the rest of the season.
Yeah, rest of the Piston season.
Right, and up until they win the NBA championship.
Yeah. Hopefully. There you go.
That'd be fantastic. So this week they play the Bulls and the Clippers.
Bulls and the Clippers.
Are they at home for both those games?
They're at home for both those games, yes.
And let's see here. I'm going to predict 2 victories.
Yeah.
I got dubs.
Same thing. 2 W's.
All right. What do you got, Preston?
I'm also going to predict 2 W's. Bulls are bad, and the Clippers are bad, and Kawhi Leonard probably won't play. So Pistons win both games.
Is Kawhi Leonard injured?
No, but the way they play him, he plays every other game due to load management. And so, yeah.
Just retire, bro. All right. Thank you, Preston. We'll keep the picks going. We'll keep it rolling. We're starting fresh.
That's right. Yeah, it's brand new, clean slate.
Clean slate.
So I'll be honest, I don't follow the Pistons that closely like I do the Lions. I would say that I'm a very casual Pistons fan. Like right now when they're doing good, I've been like keeping up with the games.
Yeah.
Not watching them all because I don't get all the networks to watch all the Pistons game. But I've been like keeping up, like, oh nice, Pistons won, last night, and like, but that's about as much as my Pistons fandom is. Once the playoffs start and they're in the playoffs, hopefully, I'll pay attention because the Detroit team in the playoffs is always exciting.
Yes.
And we don't get that often.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
So if the Pistons are in the playoffs, especially if they're doing good, like if they make it all the way to the championship, I'll be watching.
Yeah.
But I'm not as big of a Pistons fan as I am a Lions fan. But I'm going with it. Let's roll.
You'll become a Pistons fan, I think, as the season goes on. There's some investment now.
Yeah,
with this picks.
there already has been this season. I'll be honest, because they've been good.
We need some sort of like right here.
Little whiteboard.
Yeah,
to keep tallies on.
Keep tallies. Little whiteboard. Nail it up here.
Yeah.
Show the records as we go.
That would be good. Instead of us looking over there off camera where nobody can see.
Yeah, exactly. We need something right here.
Yeah.
Make something happen maybe for the next show.
That's a good idea.
All right, you got your culture clash?
I do, yeah.
And is it a good one?
That's okay.
All right. Mine's pretty, well, something I'm worked up about. So I guess it's good.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. So this clashes with my biblical worldview.
Man, that clashes with my biblical worldview.
All right. I've gone first last few times, so I'm gonna let you go first this time.
Okay. I have two that I was going back and forth. I think I'm gonna go with the second one actually that I just recently was thinking about. So it's January. If you guys didn't know that, or if you're listening and it's not January, you're listening later down the road. When we're recording this, it's January 6th. It's actually my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Hey, happy birthday, Fred.
But everybody's just, they're making their New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
They are getting into the gym. They're eating healthy. And that's not my culture clash. I think that's great. I think if you want to get into the gym, you want to get healthy, you want to make some changes in your life, I think New Year's is a great time to do it. Here's my culture clash, is that if you look up the top New Year's resolutions that were made for 2026, like the top 5 list is like exactly the same for the past like forever.
Okay.
So my question is, are you actually getting better?
Ah, man, yeah.
This is the frustration, and this is why it clashes with my worldview. I'll get to that in a second. Like the people that are in the gym for January and maybe February, and then, I don't see them. They're not there.
The gym is packed right now.
The gym is packed right now. I was at the gym this morning at about 6:30, maybe a little before 6:30. The gym was packed.
Yeah.
At 6:30 in the morning, the gym was packed.
And it's going to be packed at 7:30 tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it'll be packed probably until 9, 10.
Yep.
Somewhere in there. I mean, it's going to be packed. And it will stay packed until maybe mid-February.
Are these people going to keep their New Year's resolutions?
Probably not.
Is that the?
And my here's the thing, is that this is why this is frustrating. Not just with the gym. The gym's an easy example because I've been going to the gym more consistently for a couple of years now. And so I've seen this like ebb and flow, and so it's easy to pick on because it's an easy big target. But you can say the same thing with like finances. I'm going to get my finances right, and they have more debt at the end of the next year. Or
gosh, yeah, it's terrible.
I'm gonna get into the Word of God more this year, and you read Genesis, which I mean is great. You should read Genesis, but there's 65 other books. Or you can fill in X, Y, and Z. And here's why it clashes with my biblical worldview. Because the Bible very clearly calls us to progress in our life, to not stay stuck.
We should go from glory to glory.
That's right, glory to glory. And then Paul uses a big fancy church word called sanctification, that we should be getting progressively better. That our faith should have works, that there should be fruits, there should be evidences in our life that there has been life change. I've been reading the pastoral epistles we're in our 21 days of prayer and fasting, and we'll talk about that later, but I've been reading the pastoral epistles, and Paul is very, very clear to both Timothy and Titus. There needs to be evidence of change in your life. Like if you're a Christian, there needs to be this progression where people could say, look, 10 years ago I was like this, now God has done this big progression in my life. And I feel like, especially this is highlighted at New Year's, that there's so many people who make claims that I'm going to get better, and it's not sustained.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. Maybe it's frustrating because I'm looking at it from this like pastoral lens, and I'm like, there's been no fruit in your life.
Oh, man.
Maybe so. There it is. This clashing. And I was thinking about it this morning too. I was working out, doing some bicep curls. I'm like, wonder how many of these people are going to be here in March.
Not many.
There it is. That's my clash.
Okay. All right. So on January 1st,
Okay.
there was a man sworn in to be the mayor of New York City.
This was literally almost my culture clash.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you chose the other one.
Yeah.
Because I only had this one. And this man was sworn in not on the Bible like every other politician has ever been sworn in on. Nope. He was sworn in on the Quran.
Yeah.
He is a self-proclaimed democratic socialist, but I can see even through that a little bit. He is more he's just Muslim.
Yeah.
But I think that when you say you're like a democratic socialist or some sort of communist socialist,
Yeah.
it's more palatable to the people group that he was trying to win over. And, the truth is that there's that old saying, he pulled the wool over their eyes.
Yeah.
He tricked a lot of people. He's kind of that smiling wolf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep, I can
Yeah.
see it. He's
Yeah.
slimy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like this guy at all. I don't understand why how he got voted in, or really what's happening. I mean, it's kind of hilarious because he ran. One of his political promises was free public transportation, and starting January 3rd, public transportation went up $3.
Nice.
Nice.
2 days in, and he's like, yeah, let's jack it up.
Exact opposite of what he said he was going to do. And now he's doing really weird things too. So like he's just the mayor
Yeah.
of the city.
Yeah.
He's not a federal worker or he doesn't belong to like there's like state and local
Yeah.
jurisdiction, and
Yeah.
then there's federal jurisdiction.
Yep.
And he is not involved in any kind of the federal side of things.
Yeah.
And he's claiming that he was briefed on the Venezuelan president takeover situation after it was said and done. And people are laughing at him.
Yeah.
Because they didn't realize that reading the news on Twitter was considered a briefing. Which is exactly how he was briefed.
Yeah.
And so many reporters are now laughing, saying, next time I read a news article on Twitter, I'm going to say I was briefed on a worldwide, situation by
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin.
Right.
So this guy is such a fake, such a phony. And not only that, the fact that he was sworn in on the Quran really clashes with
Yeah.
all my biblical worldviews.
Yep, 100%.
I hope with the checks and balances in place that this guy can accomplish absolutely nothing that he wants to. And I hope it all falls apart and that the next person that's mayor of New York City will be the exact opposite of him. A
Yeah.
Christian, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. Anyway, that clashes big time.
Yeah.
It's with my biblical worldview. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right, you
Yeah.
ready for some Bible talk?
I'm ready. Let's get into some Bible talk. I need some Bible talk after that.
I love me some Bible talk.
So I was reading my Bible, obviously, with the 21 days of prayer and fasting, where I'm reading a little bit more Bible. Maybe I should say I'm reading a lot more Bible than I normally do.
Yeah.
So
good.
I read the first 11 chapters in Mark this morning, actually.
Okay.
Just started Mark 1 through 11. Noticed a pattern, something right away in the first chapter of Mark. And I really, honestly, it's kind of fun when you read the Bible through, I'm not going to say quickly, but like, when you can like finish a gospel in a day or two,
Yeah.
you see the patterns.
Yeah, for sure. You see the kind of bird's eye view patterns that when you're reading it slower, and I think both are great. It's great to read slowly to try to get to I really want to understand some of the details and some things. I think that's great, but it's also so fun to read the Bible from that bird's eye view, like you said, maybe just a gospel in a day or 2 days, and you can see, whoa, Jesus did that a lot.
Yep.
And I didn't notice it before.
Yeah.
Because I was reading it slow.
And you start to notice that, like, okay, the first 4 chapters of Mark have a theme. Then
Yeah.
the next 4 chapters
Right,
have
right.
a theme. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
so on and so forth. So you kind of notice these themes that pop out to you. And I noticed right away in Mark 1 and 2, there was a purposeful theme by the author. And one of the themes, maybe the theme of Mark 1 and 2, is Jesus is unconventional, responds to the unconventional, likes to break unwritten rules,
Yeah.
and responds to people who break the rules. Mm-hmm. That's what I notice.
Yeah.
And he does it in Mark 1 and 2 5 times.
5 times. That's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
And, it's something I noticed when I was reading through really quickly. Let's point out the first one here, which is Jesus casts out an unclean spirit in Mark chapter 1. Now, what's interesting about this is it just happens like Mark 1. Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Jesus is already doing miracles in Mark 1. Now, the other Gospels don't lean in that quickly.
Yeah. Obviously, you got Matthew kind of goes through that genealogy, goes to the birth of Jesus. Luke is the same way. It's that birth of Jesus. John is a little different, sets that up with that God nature of Jesus really quickly, but gets into John the Baptist quick. And Mark is just like, yeah, Jesus was there. He's casting out demons.
And this man with the unclean spirit, or this demon, was actually in church.
Yeah.
And that just feels like that. This whole situation feels a little unconventional.
Oh, yeah.
And Jesus heals this man, and it feels like, whoa, he is face to face with the dark side.
Yeah.
And that seems like unconventional.
Yeah, it's really unconventional. And I like that you brought up this idea of almost breaking these unwritten rules or these kind of society type rules. Because I believe, I could be mistaken on this, but that man shouldn't have even been in synagogue.
I don't think so either.
Like according to their kind of synagogue rules. And so Jesus is immediately responding to, hey, this guy's breaking the rules. He's got this unclean spirit. Check this out.
Yeah. Then the very next one, it feels like it actually goes even like further.
Yeah.
Because the next thing Jesus does is he cleanses a leper.
Oh, man.
Now, not only is this feel like this feels different a little more because, okay, like I said, this man that's demon possessed really shouldn't be in the synagogue, and so he's breaking the rules. But Jesus is responding kindly to this rule, to the rule breaking.
Yep.
Then we have a leper who approaches Jesus, which is not allowed.
Yeah.
And so, but Jesus responds kindly.
Yeah. If you go back and read, I believe it's in Leviticus, there is like an entire chapter.
It's definitely Leviticus.
An entire chapter of like the rules for a leper, and this guy was breaking all of them.
Yeah, he should not have been in the city. He should have announced who he was so that people could steer clear if he was coming into the city. And he's not
He
really...
definitely shouldn't have approached someone approaching Jesus, especially Jesus as a teacher, a rabbi. Yeah, that was a huge thing that he wasn't supposed to do. And yet Jesus immediately responds and says, be clean.
Yeah. And so we see here, we're going to see the third thing, which is the next one is the friends of a paralyzed man rip open the roof and lower him down into the middle of the room where Jesus is at. And tell you right now, that breaks a lot of rules. Like, rule number 1 in my house for my children is don't put a hole in the ceiling.
It's crazy that has to be rule number 1.
It's rule number 1. And but we see here that and they're not yelled at or scolded.
Right.
They are welcomed warmly.
Right.
By Jesus, and Jesus rewards this faith. Mm-hmm. It's a faith move that they make by ripping open this.
Big faith move.
And Jesus is responding to this rule-breaking big faith experience, and he then does something that offends people, which first thing he does is he forgives the man.
Yeah.
That really makes everybody upset.
Oh, yeah. Big mad.
And then he heals him.
Yeah.
So he's not kicked out for ruining the roof or scolded, which is what maybe the religious leaders were looking for Jesus to do. Yeah. And maybe that does make sense. Like, whoa, don't put a hole in this house,
Yeah, yeah. Well, and one of the things that is so key about that story and was a massive clash with Jesus and the Pharisees and rabbis and teachers that day was when he did tell the man, your sins are forgiven. And they're like, well, only God can forgive sins. And Jesus is making in that statement, this is a really important part of the story, that Jesus was saying, yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. and I'm God.
This reminds me of that podcast we did where we prove that Jesus claims to be God in every single chapter of the Gospel of Mark.
Yeah.
This was chapter 2's.
Chapter 2, yeah.
Right here.
Right there.
And then next in chapter 2, we see Jesus calling a man to follow him. But the man he calls has a reputation and, maybe a nickname or something like that, you could say. They were called the chief of all sinners or something like that. The tax collectors.
The tax collectors.
Jesus calls a tax collector. Now, you want to talk about bringing tension into the group.
Yeah.
Because nobody likes this guy.
Nobody likes the tax. If you were like, hey, we're going to hire on staff here at the church somebody who right now currently they work for the IRS.
But it goes even further than that, Pastor Aaron. Because Matthew, the tax collector, was a Jew who decided to work for Rome to tax the Jews.
Yeah.
So he's a traitor.
He's a traitor. All of the, quote unquote good Jewish people, they look so far down on him. This was a move by Jesus that, it had to shock his disciples.
And then Levi or Matthew, same guy, two names. Many of Jesus' disciples have double names.
Double name.
He's like, come over to my house with all my tax collector friends. And Jesus says, I'm coming to your house.
Okay, I'm coming. Let's go.
Wow. That's like another step in the wrong direction. I would say that most people would have done. Then we see here in chapter 3, I think this is the last one. Is this the last one? Is this number 5?
It has to be number 5.
All right. We see a healing on the Sabbath.
Woo! That's big time.
Yeah, that is big time. This one really upsets them all the most.
Yeah.
So, and Jesus says something awesome. He just says, is the Sabbath meant to do good or evil?
Yeah.
Of course, good. And then Jesus says something interesting. I don't know if it's right here, but it might have been later on in the Gospel of Mark. He says, God created the Sabbath for man.
Not man for the Sabbath.
Not man for the Sabbath.
Yep.
So if God created Sabbath for man, then let's take care of this man.
Yeah.
Let's take care of each other first.
Yeah.
And he heals this guy's hand, I guess the hand was withered up. But it was really interesting to see this, Pastor Aaron, and we can kind of give some concluding thoughts on this situation here. But it's really clear that Mark has an agenda here with the first few chapters of this gospel. Yeah. Which is, the agenda is this, that Jesus is going to respond to the outcasts. He's going to respond to the people with unconventional faith. Mm-hmm. He's going to respond to people who have been rejected by society.
Yeah. And I think you see it really big time in that last one with the man with the crippled hand, that he showed up desperate on a Sabbath. Maybe he heard that Jesus was going to be there. And he's like, dude, I got to get there.
Not only is Jesus breaking rules, but the people that he's touching are also breaking rules.
They're breaking those. That's kind of what I was getting at. Is like, because this, if you go back and read, again, you read in the Old Testament all this stuff about the Sabbath, there wasn't really anything about that, hey, you shouldn't heal on the Sabbath. But there was a lot about not working. And so they were considering healing somebody work, which is nuts.
Yeah, and Jesus kind of called out their hypocrisy by asking them, if your sheep fell in a ditch on the Sabbath, would you go and
pull it out?
Pull it out. Of course, the answer is yeah, they would,
And so this guy, he's coming, he's hungry to get healed. Jesus heals on the Sabbath. And I just had thought of this when you were talking about, Mark has this agenda. Most scholars believe that Mark was the author, John Mark. It was kind of dictated by the Apostle Peter. Most scholars agree on that. Mm-hmm. I wonder, and this is just pure conjecture, I guess, we see Peter's lifestyle is kind of this rule breaker guy. Oh, yeah. And I wonder if he really leaned into that aspect of Jesus.
I bet he found a lot of just energy and excitement, realizing, this is my kind of This is my kind of thing.
Yeah,
here.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I just like, because it's really prevalent right there in those first 2 chapters of Mark. And, most people think Mark was dictated by Peter. And so, I don't know, I was just wondering. I wonder if Peter really leaned into that part of Jesus.
You know what, Peter? Yeah, he leans into his scars.
Yeah.
Like, these are, my scars are like my story.
Yeah.
It's all these scars are healings and forgiveness, and these mistakes speak of Jesus's grace and mercy.
Come on.
And every great man or woman of God leans into their scars.
Yeah.
And declares grace, mercy, and healing.
Come on.
And tells of God's grace, mercy, and healing.
Yeah.
And I love a leader who leans into their scars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Pastor Tim says this all the time, and I think he got this from somebody else, but I don't know who he got it from, so I'm going to give it to Pastor Tim, where he talks about never trust a leader without a limp. It's that idea of if you come across as absolutely perfect, you have no skeletons in the closet, no issues, no weaknesses, you've never done anything wrong, you don't do anything wrong, you're strong in every area, you're hiding something. Like something is going to go wrong. And so as leaders, as Christians, we should be able to, just like Peter, look back and be like, hey, I got some serious scars, but Jesus is a healer. And that is an attractive kind of leader.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, it's been a good podcast.
It's been a good one. Breaking all the rules.
Oh, yeah. It was good to be back too.
It was good to be back.
How would you describe this one?
It's really hard to think about food right now. I haven't eaten anything.
You know what? Yeah. It's like a bone-in pot roast.
Day 2 of fasting. It's like a good salad.
Let's stick with fasting foods. This is like a super delicious, crispy apple.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
Is that like it?
Good fasting food. Yeah.
All right. Amazing. All right, everybody. Catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Youth and Young Adult Podcast. Youth and Young Adult Podcast. Youth and Young Adult Podcast.